Today on Other People's Airplanes, we talk with Patty Wagstaff. Welcome to Other People's Airplanes, a show where we bring you into the cockpit and along for the ride whenever we do awesome aviation-related stuff. I'm your host, David Allen, and today we're talking to somebody who has lots of experience doing amazing things in cockpits, Patty Wagstaff. Thank you so much for joining us here on Other People's Airplanes.
I'm happy to be here at the Concord booth, too. I'm going to sign autographs after we're done, so.
Yeah, there's a lot of people going to be lining up to sign autographs with you, so that's very cool stuff. You have done some of the most amazing flying in the world, and it's just, I mean, starting off with, you know, just aerobatics and aerobatic championship, and then just there's so many things. What is you're doing some firefighting these days? You know, not as much as used to, but firefighting. I mean, from airplanes. What's the latest, you know, that you're doing? And there's one really cool piece of news that you just had happening in St. Augustine at your home.
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, my whole purpose for existence is to fly cool airplanes. So everything I do is not to get rich, because that doesn't happen. And, you know, my line of work, but it's to what's the next great airplane I can fly. So I've been really lucky. But I'm kind of getting back to basics. And I started a school. It's Patty Wagstaff Aerobatic School, and it's in St. Augustine, Florida. It's at Southeast Aero, which is the extra distributorship for the U.S. So it's, you know, it's like Santa's toy shop every morning. They open the hangar doors, and it's filled with beautiful airplanes. And so we have an extra in the Super Decathlon, and we're going to add some planes, and we're doing a lot of instruction, and it's really great. We start right from basics to advanced and unlimited.
I think a lot of people don't realize how fun and accessible aerobatic flying is. You know, you say, I'm going to get my private, then I'm going to get my instrument, then I'm going to get my commercial, then, you know, maybe I'll get a tailwheel endorsement. But aerobatic flying is accessible, and to be taught by someone like your team is just the way to go. And there's so much benefit to it. It's fun, but there's so much benefit to it.
It's really fun. I mean, everybody loves it. You know, we see a lot of people, and they come in and they go, I'm not an aerobatic pilot. I'm a straight and level pilot. I'm only doing this because I feel like I have to. And we try and we build it up really slowly. We make it fun. We don't like go out and try and prove anything to anybody. And by the end of the week or the end of their course, they're like, I'm going to buy an aerobatic plane and compete. You know, it's great to turn somebody onto it and see that it's not crazy, it's very controlled, that they have a much better understanding of their plane, that they know how to keep the ball centered on climb out, you know. So our courses are about airmanship and aerobatics, not just aerobatics. We want the whole basic airmanship, stick and rudder, flying ingrained in them, so that when they go on, they'll have that in anything that they fly.
A friend of mine, James Wembrandt, was hanging out at St. Augustine, and there's a really good story about a time when he needed his BFR, and you offered to give him his BFR and his Mooney, and he said that it wasn't just a standard BFR. You were put him into a situation where he was very high from the airport, and the engine was out, and you said put it down, and showed him how to use the full envelope of capability in the airplane, where most people don't use that.
No, and I think every time you go up, you should challenge yourself, and you know, pick a spot on the runway and say, that's where I'm going to put it. And, you know, like landing here, green dot or orange dot, but know that you can put it there. And they're like, well, you know, it's a long runway, and I always land on long runways. I'm like, but you may have a problem someday, and you have to put it in a field. You want to be able to do that, so there's a reason for it. And so I do that, and I'm really big that, you know, people have names for me. They call me, like, Centerline and rudder Wagstaff, because I'm always yelling at them about the rudder. But I think it's important, and that's what they're paying me or my instructor to do, is sit there and, you know, correct them. And one of the things we do is I'm working on this course for real experienced pilots who just need a little brush up, BFR, but I'm going to call it finishing school. So all the little bad habits that we all develop when we fly all the time, you know, like, is your wing dragging a little bit and things like that. People are like, oh yeah, I didn't realize I was doing that, or I didn't realize I wasn't using enough rudder or something, or, you know, review spins. So we do a little finishing course too.
A friend of mine went through some aerobatic training and had forgotten, because he flies cargo planes, forgot what those little pedals on the floor were for. They're kind of important.
That's what finishing school is for.
Excellent. What can we expect from you here this week?
Well, I'm flying my extra Wednesday and Saturday, so flying the show, and I can't wait to fly. I went out and practiced today, and the air is so good here. I've been flying in some really hot, muggy places, and you get up here, it's dry, and it's cold, and, I'm like, yes, this feels good. And I just had some bottom end work done on my plane at Barrett's in Tulsa, and I tell everybody, hey, you guys get top ends, I get a bottom end. We replaced the main bearing and a few other things because the engine got tired, but it's really powerful now. So fly those 2 days, and I'm going to sign autographs at Concord and a few other places, and talk to people and promote the school. And I'm going to give a talk at Teachers Day tomorrow, and talk about the STEM program and how it relates to aviation. And then tomorrow morning I'm going to help them give the wings to the new Able Flight people who got their scholarships and learned to fly, disabled people and some of them are wounded warriors, and others just have had other issues, and that's always really fun. And so I'm busy. It's fun.
You are busy. That's a very cool thing.
I like being busy.
You mentioned, this is kind of a little side note, you mentioned that you're always looking for the next cool airplane. What's on your list?
And I don't have anything in mind that I'm going to fly, but I'd like to fly a Bearcat and an F-86, the classics, right? Yeah, so, down the road, maybe a Tiger Cat someday, so.
F-86 sounds like a blast.
I know, that's a classic, one of the great classics. But I flew this new extra LT. I'm not a salesman, but I just flew the LT, it's the touring version of the two-seater. That thing is a work of art. I didn't think I was going to like it because it's not designed for the really hardcore, has a little bit slower roll rate, but it's amazing. It was just beautiful, beautifully balanced, and so I was excited about flying that.
Well, thank you so much. Where can people find out more information about your flight school?
Thanks for asking. Just my website, pattywagstaff.com, or they can, and you go to the instruction page, and everything's on there, course list and prices. We're real competitively priced, and come on down to St. Augustine, come fly with us.
That's fantastic. If you need to get some aerobatic training from Patty Wagstaff or her hand-picked team of instructors, that's definitely the way to go. So, Patty, thank you so much for joining us here on Other People's Airplanes.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Have a good show.
You bet. This is been Patty Wagstaff here at AirVenture. This is day one of the event. We've got lots more coverage coming to you. Please follow all of our coverage on our Facebook page. The link is right here, and we'll catch you next time for more AirVenture 2014.